Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Let's Play Oblivion. As you can see, I'm using an alternate start mod here, alternate start arrived by ship, and this is who we will be playing as. This is Cedrik, and he is a custom class that I made, called a paladin, kind of based off of the paladins you'll find in like 5e or Pathfinder. It's not a one-to-one conversion, obviously, but I'll show you what I did here. So, his major skills are strength, intelligence, willpower, agility, speed. No wait, sorry. Those are his attributes. I put his focus in strength and willpower. I'm sorry, I can't believe I totally messed it up. And then his major skills are athletics, and I was debating between putting athletics and another magic-based class there, or perhaps blunt. But I went ahead and went with athletics, because if you look on the 5e page, it is kind of a thing you can do to kind of make paladins a bit more athletic. Then I know there's some people prefer blade, or blunt, weaponry, like maces and stuff like that for their paladins, but then some people prefer the old sword and board style. And I figure I just really like the idea of using a blade, especially because a lot of blunt weapons in Oblivion are two-handed. I mean, I know blades are too, but I don't want to be limited to a mace, and axes aren't really my thing, nor hammers, so I wanted to go with blade and block, which is where I need that other free hand to come in here. Heavy armor, of course, you can't have a paladin who doesn't use heavy armor. Now, alchemy might be a weird one to some people, but I chose it because, like, you know, paladins, you know, they're kind of like fighter clerics. Back in, like, I think the AD&D days, if you wanted a paladin, you'd have to multi-class paladin, or fighter and cleric. So I went with alchemy, because it kind of follows the same principle as restoration of, you know, being able to heal. No, granted, you can also use alchemy to make, like, poisons and stuff, but still, I figure there's a good healing aspect with alchemy. You'll notice I didn't put speechcraft there. It's because even though paladins do rely a lot on their charisma, there's not really a big point in having speechcraft be a major skill in Oblivion. You know, it's just, you don't get much out of it, so I just left it out. Restoration, like I said, it's a big part of being a paladin, so that had to be there. Now, I have destruction here, and I was debating between mysticism, because it has spells like detect life, and paladins can detect undead, but it's Oblivion, so that's the closest we could get. And then I was also debating between alteration, maybe adding it along and getting rid of athletics, having like alteration, because you get like shield spells and stuff like that. But I didn't know how true that would actually stay to being a paladin. But I figure destruction is still kind of close to fitting in with the paladin theme. Because, you know, healing spells in D&D, they hurt the undead. In Oblivion, they don't. However, in Oblivion, to hurt the undead, you need either silver, or we're talking like ghosts specifically, not skeletons, but you need either silver or magical weapons. So destruction, you know, kind of goes along with the idea of restoration. And I don't have any silver and magic weapons right now. Sorry, that was the important bit. So why I needed a magic to harm them. But destruction is also really good, because even though your restoration spells can't hurt the undead, your destruction spells do. In fact, fire is very good at hurting the undead. Now, there is a mod out there called Supreme Magicka, which allows your restoration spells to hurt the undead. However, I'm using the Steam version of Oblivion, and I can make OBSC work with it. And Supreme Magicka requires OBSC. I can make OBSC work with the Steam version of Oblivion, but it's a big, you know, just pain. So I didn't want to mess around with that. So yeah, there's no open cities or anything like that. I thought about getting better cities, but I don't know, it's not 100% to my liking. And I kind of have a kind of a nostalgic look at the original Oblivion cities for all their faults, though in my opinion they still beat the Skyrim cities. But yeah, so these are basically what I thought a paladin in Oblivion would look like. There is the Crusader pre-built class in Oblivion that I think is supposed to be their take on a paladin, but I don't really like how they did that. Now, a little bit about Cedrik. Well, we'll get to that here in just a moment when we fill out our immigration forms. So I already have the race done. I have the specialization or class done. His birth sign, I went with the warrior. You know, it's a pretty good paladin birth sign. It ups his strength and endurance. You know, attributes, which I mixed up with skills earlier because it is currently, well, it's only 9:44 p.m., but I don't know, what can I say, I'm tired. So now to get to Cedrik's background. For those of you familiar with Oblivion's, well, the Elder Scrolls' lore, there's an island off the coast of Cyrodiil called Stirk. It's not in Oblivion, though you can get a mod for it, and that is an idea. Might have to do that. There's an island called Stirk, and that is where Cedrik is from. Now, I toyed about what I wanted his background to be. You know, I was thinking maybe he could have been a good merchant in his life. But I'm not really happy with the outfit you get with a merchant or the equipment. Although the books are nice, they go along with what I want. But, or sorry, not merchant, an academic. I went with academic. And, you know, then merchant, but I don't think merchant's really what Cedrik would be. I pictured him as either an academic or a nobleman. So we're gonna go with nobleman, because I like the outfit they get. And while their starting equipment isn't the best, it's, still pretty nice, and you get a bit more of, starting gold, which is important. Because, you see, Cedrik lived his life being a nobleman on the island of Stirk. He wasn't a count or anything like that. You know, he was one of those noblemen that is noble enough to have a life of luxury and high class, you know, style of living well beyond the common folk, but not so noble that he would have to actually be directly involved with the politics of the land or actually any real responsibilities. So he spent his entire life basically being doted on and not really having to do much of anything. And the years passed, and he grew old. And as he grew old, he grew bored. And much like Don Quixote de la Mancha, he turned to books. And he'd read about all these other places of Tamriel. And he dreamed, after reading of all these exotic places and ancient lore, like the disappearance of the Dwemer, or the aliens in Cyrodiil, or the Falmer in Skyrim, or Nefali Largus in the Hammerfell region. He dreamed of what it would be like to just put his noble life aside and go out and be an adventurer, perhaps even a hero. And so, he didn't lose his mind like Don Quixote, but he decided that he would do just that. He would leave his life behind, take some of the money he had saved up, and a few things that were important to him, and he would leave for mainland Cyrodiil, and perhaps onwards, to try and become the hero that he always kind of wanted to be. And one type of hero that he always idolized were those who had a little bit of magical prowess, but also a bit of, you know, the chivalrous aspect of knights, and, you know, the man in the cladding armor and the sword and shield saving the innocent from the wicked and corrupt. So, he chose to be a paladin. He has some basic magical and combat abilities, but no more than your average nobleman taking sparring classes or magic lessons for luxury would have. So he's still very much a novice compared to, you know, a battle mage in the Imperial city or even a low-level necromancer in a cave. But he has enough where he feels that he can be the hero he always wanted to be. And so that's who Cedrik is. And this is his story. This is not going to be a hard roleplay, let's play, but it's not going to be a zero roleplay. I want it to be roughly 50-50, where I give my own dialogue and just talk about my own life or, you know, whatever. And, you know, then the other bit is a bit of Cedrik's view of the world. and Cyrodiil and Tamriel and everything. So hopefully it'll be easy enough to see the distinction there. You know, because if I talk about like, oh, we had a thunderstorm today, and in the game, you know, it hasn't stormed, you know, there'd be, hopefully that distinction would be clear. Obviously, also, there'd be no reason for Cedrik to think to himself, oh, we had a thunderstorm today. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But anyway, I'm rambling. So without further ado, let's grab him his life savings, and he sails off the Isle of Stirk towards Anvil, the closest city, so it's a short boat ride. But he arrives there after maybe a few hours sleeping on the boat. It was a nighttime cruise. He awakens in the morning. We're ignoring this. We're not doing the main quest. Now, obviously, he's not really going to be in this leather armor, for he has no armor. Instead, we're going to take what we have here, and what Cedrik took with him. Ignore this stuff here. We're not going to deal with that now. But he has some books that he loves. He has, and again, ignore that. We're not going to do that. So he has some books he loves. He has some food and provisions. He has an amulet that his father gave him, and he wouldn't want to sell it unless he had to. But he has enough money right now. He doesn't have to worry. He has his clothes. He has an iron dagger, and a fine iron longsword, which we're going to take back. So now, we view the life of Cedrik. Now, Cedrik has never left the Isle of Stirk, which, if memory serves from the lore, would be... Actually, that might be it right there. I don't know if you can go there in game. If so, that's not it, but it's actually in the lore, in this general area. So, you know, in around the Anvil area. So anyway, let's go ahead and start out. Now, Cedrik, what he'd be likely to do from here is, well, there's... Okay, let's talk about what all...
Sir.
Go away.
I got nothing to eat.
Oh, here, fine.
One more coin.
Cedrik will, he has a soft spot for those in need, of course. He's a paladin, or he dreams to be. So he will give this guy a coin.
Thank you, kind sir. Blessings.
But anyway, so let's talk about what what the plan for this LP is, basically. We're not doing the main quest, and I don't want to spoil everything, but one of the two guilds we're going to start first is going to be either the Fighters Guild or the Mages Guild. I haven't decided which yet, though we are probably going to do them both. We're not going to join them, I don't think, right away. We're probably just going to do some adventuring before then. Then I do have an idea for another quest line or so to do after that, and you can probably guess one of them, just based off who Cedrik is. But yeah, so there's that. Vilya is, as you can see here, a companion mod I've installed. I've never really played with her before, but you know, I've just tried it out, and the voice acting turned me off before, so I just kind of never bothered. But I did read about Terry Pratchett, you know, the Discworld author, loved the Vilya mod and said that the character was really well done. He even helped work on it with the person who created it. That and the Pack of Donkeys mod, which I've also installed. And, you know, just reading about his experiences with it and how much he loved it, I decided I'd probably give it a try. Whether or not we're going to do it in this playthrough, I don't know, probably, because I'm probably not going to have my own separate Oblivion playthrough outside of this LP. I've played this game to death over the last 13 years, 12 years. It was the only game when I had it on the Xbox 360 that I got 100% achievements for, which I think would be a platinum on PlayStation. But yeah, so I love this game. I've done every quest line, all the DLCs, you know, I probably haven't explored every nook and cranny, but still, I've sunk hundreds, if not thousands, of hours into this, so this Let's Play is going to be where I get my Oblivion fix. In the future, you know, I've been watching Sorcerer Dave's More Oblivion Let's Play recently, which is the first Let's Play he ever did. And let's go shopping. And I really like it, and it looks really fun. Morrowind itself, I've modded a bit to make it more preferable to me. I really like the lore of Morrowind, and I really like, you know, just the idea behind it. But I can never get too into it, if that makes sense. I mean, at one time I did. It was actually the first Elder Scrolls game I properly played. I never got far in it. I was young. I was like maybe 8 or 9. Yeah, but and a couple years ago I got pretty far back to like the Urshalaku camp area in the main quest. And I have a playthrough going now. I haven't played in a week or so, probably 3 weeks really, where you know, I have some mods installed like Magicka regen and faster walking and stuff like that, or fatigue regen and stuff, which makes it more bearable for me because those are my biggest complaints. I actually don't really mind the combat, which I know is everyone's biggest complaints, but I love tabletop role-playing games. So, you know, a kind of dice-based system doesn't really bother me all that much. Even when it's like first person and you can swing your sword, see it hit a rat, and yet it says you missed, that doesn't bother me. Because I understand why it missed, and it's just kind of a technical limitation rather than a design flaw. But anyway, I was watching Sorcerer Dave's more Oblivion Let's Play. I'm still watching it. He's one of my favorite Let's Players. I watch him all the time. Or at least I did. Life got busy and I haven't been able to watch him as much as I'd like. But anyway, more Oblivion looks really fun. No, it looks jank. Like, it does... Is that a word you can say? I don't know if that actually has an offensive past or not to it. If it does, I apologize. But it looks clunky, let's say, and there's a lot of bugs in it. And, whatnot. And, so... But it still also has a sort of charm to it. And Oblivion is, honestly, for all its flaws, my favorite Elder Scrolls game. I mean, potato faces and weirdness and all. I can't help but love it. It just brings me to my happy place every time I play it. And, so I think more Oblivion, for all of its flaws, would probably be some kind of happy middle ground. Or at least a fun little adventure to do. So I might do a Let's Play of that in the future, but that'd be once this one's done, which would be who knows how long from now. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's get us some armor and weapons. Well, maybe weapons. So let's see here.
Only quality goods for sale here.
Oh, also,
what can I interest you in?
I apologize if the background audio is not, like, of the game isn't great for you guys. When I was doing tests of this earlier, it was either way too quiet or way too loud. And I just got, honestly, a little tired of messing with it. So, I put it at what I thought would be a decent level. If it's way too loud, I apologize, and I'll try to fix that in the near future. I don't know how many episodes of this I'm going to film tonight. At least 1, maybe 2 or 3. So, you know, it might not be till a couple episodes from now that it's fixed. But if there are issues, it will get fixed. Just please let me know. Maybe I should have gone with mace, because that's pretty good. It has a 3, although it's steel longsword. What kind of longsword do I have? Fine iron, which is 4, and I think the steel was 4, right? Where'd it go? Yeah, so, okay, there's no real point. What is this? I actually don't have enough for it, but what is this? Wait a minute. Is that mod that... No, I don't think so, but there's a mod that it kind of has, I forget what the weapon's called, but you hit people with it, the blackjack. You hit people with it, and you get, like, paralyzed and go unconscious. This might actually be... I don't think that's from this mod. I really don't know. But, still, it's kind of funny. Alright, so let's go ahead and buy some armor. Now, he's a bit rich, so he might actually... Yeah, he's gonna go straight for the steel. So we're gonna get the helmet, the cuirass, and the boots. And, oh, I should... Maybe... No, I didn't need the armor. No, I know this is light armor, but he needs... Wait. No, I don't think he... No. There were no gauntlets.
You bought that for a song.
Alright, so that's actually pretty good there. So let's get that equipped. He's gonna be a dapper old man. Oh, I need greaves. Oh no, because that just looks silly without greaves. And honestly, I might take the... Oh, well, it's 2 points of defense, but... He kind of looks young with the helmet on, and I want him to look old. Plus, he kind of looks more badass without the helmet anyway.
Good day. So what can I do?
Yeah, hey, I forgot.
Only quality goods for sale here.
Forgot to
What
get
can I
greaves.
interest you
Do
in?
you have any greaves? You don't. Well, that's not good. Let's see what the health on these is. Oh, it's at 100. That's good. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to...
Goodbye.
Maybe... Can we buy some? It's been a couple years since I've done a proper playthrough of this. Probably about 2. So I forget if you can actually buy stuff from the Fighters Guild when you're not a member. Hopefully. I don't want to join it yet, and I'm not going to, but it's worth
Hi there.
checking.
What can I do for you? Looking for some work? If so,
Not today, thank you.
be seeing you. Looking for adventure?
I'm looking for a merchant is what I'm looking for.
Take care.
You a merchant?
Join the fighters guild.
Whoa, why? Oh, everyone
Good
wants
day.
me to join. Well, they probably see me decked out in steel armor, and they're like, oh yeah, this guy'd be perfect. Little do they know, he's never had a proper fight in his life, not even with a bully or a thief or anything. The closest to a fight he's ever had was a
Fantastic.
spar or
Thanks for
a
asking.
joust, and
I feel
well,
sorry
let's face
for
it, being a
Norbert Mills.
nobleman, he was probably
He's a good man, but he gets
he was
taken
probably
in so
allowed to
easily.
win those. He probably didn't win
He's
them
an-
fairly.
Don't be shy.
They're all trainers,
Good day.
right? Is that what that means?
Don't be shy. If you want my help,
Okay, yeah. So, okay.
you too.
Goodbye.
So services are for guild members only. I thought
Hey,
that's how it might be, but I wasn't sure. So, any other shops in the area, I guess? Fighters Guild, Hall's House, Mages Guild, Peacemakers, Othello's Hut. The Count's Arms might have some. Let's see, how do I... Oh, it has been a while. I can't remember how to place a custom map marker. I thought it was shift click, but maybe you can only do that on the overworld map and not the local map. I don't know. Anyway, the Count's Arms is, I think, this way. I'm gonna try to avoid the church. I don't want to do Knights of the Nine right now. Let's see. Is that the Count's Arm or is that an inn? I think that's an inn. Yeah, no, that's an inn. Did I pass it? Oh. Oh yeah, that is the Count's Arms. I thought it was an inn, judging by the picture. It is an inn.
What is it now?
Greetings, Imperial.
I'm Wilbur, owner and proprietor of the Count's Arms.
Yeah, you don't sell food, do you?
What can I interest you in?
Or, not food, armor.
Take care.
Well, that is false advertising if I've ever seen it. Maybe one of these outside docks does. If not, we'll probably find some greaves in the dungeon, you know. Good old Cedrik here is kind of itching to go out and adventure. And adventure he shall.
What is it now?
Let's see. One of these two shops might actually have some. They're probably not going to be great armor, but they might have at least something.
I'm Norbert.
Hi, Norbert.
Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
Ooh, they're light armor though. I think I can show her my gloves, but still. Let's see. You don't have greaves with Norbert. That saddens me. Ooh, you do have a shield though. It's light, but it'll do for now.
You're a fine negotiator.
Thank you. Ooh, detect life. That might be good. Don't need that. He probably would need open scrolls, because, I don't know. I wish there was a mod that didn't require OBSC that would let me bash open locked chests. Because I don't see Cedrik as being much of a lockpick. I mean, we might be stuck doing it regardless from now and then, but I'm gonna try to use scrolls and spells as much as possible for that. Which I think alteration would have been good to get that in hindsight, but oh well. Let's see, and detect life would probably be a good one to have for the rainy day.
I have.
So let's go ahead and get his mismatched shield equipped. That's actually not that mismatched. And
Goodbye.
the worst offense is these pants, which is why I really need to get him a pair of greaves. And ooh, if I was playing a thief character, we'd be robbing your store tonight. But we're not. We're playing a hero. So let's go ahead and it's a warehouse. Well, you can tell it's been a while since I've played this game because I'm forgetting a lot of these locations, and yet you're not going to sell anything like I need, so I'm not going to bother.
What's your story?
I want to wrap this
What's
episode
going
up
on with you?
fairly
I've heard that the
quickly.
Lords of Skyrim
But let's
have
see
been
if we
warring
can't get to at least one dungeon, and at least start it before we end for today. So let's go ahead and do that. I mean, obviously you can tell how long this episode is by looking at the bar at the bottom of the screen. Meanwhile, I'm just going off the top of my phone. I think it's been not quite 30 minutes yet, but I don't know, I could be doing my math wrong. But anyway, I want to keep each episode of this around 30 to 40 minutes, maybe the occasional episode that's a bit shorter. You know, I tried to do a Let's Play channel once when I was in university at the time. I graduated here a couple weeks back. I tried to do, so time was really limited, and it just never took off because of studies and stuff, so I let it go. But I wanted each episode then to be about an hour, and I saw that hour-long episodes kind of hard to get viewers for, so I'm going to try to keep each episode of this around a half hour. So you're probably not going to see any dungeon diving this episode, but you will hopefully at least see me get to a dungeon. Ooh, we can buy a horse. We have the money. Let's buy a horse. Let's buy a horse and end the episode there. Then we'll go on an adventure next episode. Let's see. White horses I know are faster than paint horses, and I know black horses are the fastest. But I think white horses are at least okay. Plus with the, you know, kind of paladin
If you're
thing,
looking to buy a horse, go.
it might work. Okay, I skipped your dialogue, but I'm assuming you're saying to talk to her inside. Do you sell the horses?
Welcome to the Horse Whisperer.
I am interested in a horse.
We have the finest white horses in Cyrodiil. None.
Ooh, that's a lot of gold. I'm used to Skyrim with the white on horse being 1,000 gold. I'll take it. Truly, every good paladin needs a horse. Of course, so I'll take one.
Wonderful. Go.
And that's most of my money gone, okay? Cedrik, you're gonna have to earn your keep from now on. So let's go ahead. You know, I don't know why I bought a horse when I have the Pack Donkeys mod installed. Then again, Cedrik is a nobleman. And he's a paladin. He needs a horse. Maybe if some tragic fate should meet my white horse, he's gonna have to be renamed via console commands. Maybe then we can go for a donkey, if the life adventure does not prove profitable. And we might need a mod to fix that, because it is far too profitable. I know this game. Anyway, let's get on our horse, and then me and horse will go in for the pursuit of adventure next time on Let's Play Oblivion. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all very soon.